want you to contemplate this question. What is your relation with life's turbulence? What happens when that unexpected jolt comes your way and things don't go exactly as planned? How do you respond in those circumstances? Now, the way I want to do that is by sharing a pretty crazy story.
A young woman set out to complete the journey that Earhart never did.
And so you're planning on recreating her trip around the world.
She had a special goal in mind, 17 cities in 14 countries.
Joining us now is Amelia Rose Earhart.
I feel like it's a part of me. It's what I was born to do.
You know, with a name like that, there really is no other destiny for her.
I would sit down and take out these big sheets of paper and start to map out, if I were going to fly around the world, where would I go? What route would I take?
So when you want to fly around the world, what's the very first thing that you need? You need an airplane. So I decided to set my sights on the absolute best, the Pilatus PC-12 NG. When I walked into their US headquarters, their very first question was, do you even know how to fly a Pilatus PC-12? Luckily, I had anticipated that question. I had made the effort and put in the training hours to become a Pilatus PC-12 pilot. I believe they took me a whole lot more seriously because of that fact. And that was a difference maker for me.
Another big part of all of it was going through open water survival training. What they do is they put you in a fuselage of an airplane and they dunk it, and while it's upside down and your sinuses are flooded and you're completely out of sync, you have to use touch points to figure out how to get yourself and your crew members back up to the surface. And it was at this point in my life that I learned this important lesson. The only aircraft that never experiences turbulence is the one that stays locked up in a hangar. And the same is true for all of us in this room. We can handle far more bumps than we think we can. We don't need to stay locked up protecting ourselves from the challenges of life. We need to face them head on with a pilot in command mentality, because we always, as I learned around my name, have the opportunity to course correct when a storm pops up along the path that we want to follow.
The truth is, turbulence is a sign that an organization has just taken flight. They're moving outside of their comfort zone. In fact, they're pushing their own boundaries. They're headed into uncharted territory, which is where all the best things happen in business. The lessons that I share on stage are instantaneous mindset shifts that allow us to think with this new perspective. What I want to challenge all of you in this room to start doing is exploring those unusual headings. Get off of true north, get off of north, south, east, and west, get off the beaten path. The way I want you all to think about a tailwind is how you can propel one another. You know, when you take the time to send that email, make that connection, or follow up on that exciting opportunity, those are tailwinds that can lighten our load. If you're stuck in passenger mode, you're simply along for the ride. I urge you to step into the pilot in command role, because in this role, you decide where you're headed next. You show up with control of how you navigate through and around life's storms.
It was so genuine. It was so powerful. It's very inspiring. We really love Amelia.
Amelia's story was impressive, showing that you can do anything that you put your mind to.
Colors were arriving under the wings of the aircraft that I had never even imagined existed. The shades of blue were so stunning. And my world kept getting wider and wider and wider, making our way over stretches of ocean that were so vast and so wide that I thought they would never end. And as we circled overhead in this special moment, we put the plane into autopilot, circling over the center point there, and we handed out close to $100,000 of flight training scholarships to young women all across the US who are now pilots today. And as I came off the aircraft, hugged mom and dad, the media is just swarming in. You saw that picture. And I said, hang on, there's something I gotta do. And I walked over to Captain Tinarello, and he said, Amelia, I stood in this exact same location 77 years ago. I watched the first Amelia Earhart depart on her flight around the world. He said, I have been staring out at that horizon over the ocean for 77 years, waiting to see her come back to me. And you just brought her home. And to me, that is what it is about when you relate to one another. Our true character comes down to how we show up as pilot in command of every single flight that we take. So as I wrap up, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart and remind you that the only aircraft that never experiences turbulence is the one that stays locked up in a hangar. So take flight.